All right, so here we have the Armored Car Pec Pulls. So I really love this movement because, for one, it opens up the chest, but also strengthens the chest. And as you can see here, as the end here, when I pull up with those elbows behind me, gets some really good upper back activation. It's such a hard area to hit and such an important area to activate. So on the start of this movement, let's get down into position on the floor. Make sure butt is tight and the chest is slightly off the ground. So as the arms are overhead, you're going to pull aggressively and you're going to pull those hands around into a position almost like you were going to start a push-up. So the end position is like the start of a regular push-up. So we took this side view here so you could see the position of my hand. So as the arms come into the body, what we want to make sure is to pause and make sure the wrists are straight and the knuckles are pointed to the ground. So if you end with bent wrist, it doesn't get as good as a lengthening into the pec and doesn't activate the mid-back. So do your best at the end position. You want to pause, squeeze, make sure the wrists are straight, knuckles are pointed to the ground. So much of the results and magic happens at the end point of the movement right there where I pause. Okay, so that pause lets you give it extra squeeze in the upper back, and that's what we want, and it lets you fully lengthen out the pec. So even though it's lengthening out, it's not just stretching, it's actually an eccentric contraction, meaning we're strengthening the pec in a lengthened manner. Such a valuable thing to have. It creates healthy and pain-free shoulder. So last few notes here is make sure that you're not raising up too high. So this isn't like a cobra type stretch or movement like you would see in yoga. The chest is just coming up slightly, only enough to let those arms and hands get in the correct position. So if we lift up too high, we're activating the wrong muscles and doing the wrong thing. So once again, try and keep your chest relatively level. Only let it raise enough to let the armored cars come into that finished position. So when you first start off with this movement, just make sure you're getting the pattern down smoothly. As you get used to it, start getting aggressive on your pulls and stronger on that pause and squeeze in back.